Welcome to Members Night Recap. Tonight I am joined by Sergeant Tucker, Dr. Feelgood, and I really wish you had some kind of a title, Slaughtermelon. That would make you fit in a little more around here. We got a sergeant, we got a doctor, and a watermelon.
You can call me the fruit.
The fruit Slaughtermelon. And I'm Mischief. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Great.
I'm doing well, thanks for asking.
Okay. I think if we were to order that, it sounds like Slaughtermelon's winning with great. I think I'd put good higher than doing well. Well sounds kind of like you're hanging in there, but good is like it's a positive.
I'm hanging in there, Luke.
Okay, all right. And I am doing fantastic because I am with my good friends.
Excellent.
All right, so we're going back a few months tonight to the A team versus B team practice game. This was early December, I think. So I would think the players that we're seeing have probably made some improvements since we saw this video, but I think we can still pull some fun. It might be good to reminisce a little bit, if anything. I behold you, the Loveland B team. Thoughts on this lineup?
I know this was like 6 or 7 weeks ago, but it was nice to see when we came out last for a little like practice shindig thing. Who had improved just a ton, so I'm excited to see him play some heavy weapons tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I think the nice thing about this team is that they, at this point, are still kind of playing with what they want to find out. So this is a good way for them to see the things that they are trying to do, see what's working, see what's not. The lineup looks like it could have a really strong backline with as I call them, the Three Musketeers as the backline.
Mm-hmm.
They sync really well together. I don't have an explanation as to why the three of them sync up so well, but the three of them have a very good synergy with each other, and so it can make them very hard to kill, depending on things. And Renegade with Loki is always a potent, well, they're not Renegade, Poopies, because he forgot to log his card, is always a potent attack because they're very quiet until they start fighting, and then they can get very loud very quickly, and so they can get into position without you noticing and cause a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would be excited for the Renegade Commander, but I think not having his name as Poopies drops him down a whole tier in my book. But for real,
he gets his C to start.
He's really sneaky, and I think, you know, if Judoku can draw attention up on the top floor, Renegade's got this ability to just kind of fly up one of the ramps and take a team by surprise, and then like use a lot of guerrilla warfare tactics. So I'm excited to see how he plays here. I think he's honestly a really good commander. And then backed up by Loki and Table Flip Joey. Definitely I could see Loki kind of providing some backline support while Renegade goes in close. And, you know, Joey is really good at controlling territory. I'm trying to think of his play style on Scout. I've seen him on Heavy a lot recently. But he's loud and communicative, and he's got like a best friend synergy with Anthony, so.
Joey does, you think?
Oh, yeah, he and Anthony, they're buds.
I'll have to pay more attention to that.
Think about someone besides yourself for once, Slade.
What?
But Slade, what do you think of this team?
I think it looks like I have to take it seriously.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, why don't we move on to the level 1 A team.
Oh, I am playing.
Yes, sir, you are.
Yeah, I'm prime mid cast.
Yeah, this is I think one of your first games back with the cast, so
Sick. Don't expect no 30 MVP out of me.
I actually didn't bother to pull up the MVPs for this game, so we'll just assume it was 30.
Okay. 31.9 is where I usually end up on medic.
Hmm. Oh, if only you were in the game. We would credit you with it. Anyway, I am terrified of this offense, just to start. Having a Scott Sterling, or now Ghost Commander, backed up by Bagel and Simply Okay. It's like I bet he's going to be pushing in right away and continuously pushing, and anytime he gets tagged down, I imagine Bagel and Simply Okay are going to be just ready to pick up all the scraps and keep the enemy team contained. And then Brahmatize usually plays a pretty, I don't want to use the word stout, like he plops down in his territory and he makes sure that he keeps it using trails, using callouts, working with the resupply. I think honestly, just him holding down his ground and letting his offense work is how this team's going to function best.
Yeah. Bromley is capable of absorbing an entire offensive line.
Mm-hmm. Joe, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts is that this is our A team and that it's going to be hard for them. We also had agreed that this was not going to be an all-out game because we wanted to see what they would do if we pressured them but didn't necessarily just go for the throat the entire game. So something you may see in this game is players making decisions where they're holding ground instead of pushing up is because we want to see what they do with the choices that they're given, basically. Now that they've had some tournament experience and a bit of practice, they're starting to learn synergies with each other. So
I'm curious what you think about that, Caleb. We were trying to figure out ways to make it like let us practice, but also make it so the B team wasn't getting just steamrolled. At this current stage, like they're much harder to take down now, I will say. But at this stage, I think the game we played before was a pretty quick elim, and we wanted to give them something where they could actually survive for a little while.
Well, I think that benefits. Sorry, I think that benefits both teams in a couple different ways, and I think best way that it benefits your guys' team is it gives you different lineup options, and I think every one of your players should be proficient in every single position. So this just sort of enforces that fact, and I mean honestly, this is a pretty killer lineup in my opinion. I think you have Scott Sterling, Bagel, and Simply Okay, who are some seriously fast players, and they're going to make just a killer offense. And then you have Dramatized, Sergeant Tucker, and Dr. Feelgood. And I consider those to be three players who very much so know what they're doing in terms of staying alive and defending themselves. So really you have a good even split on the team that still allows them to get some practice in as well.
Definitely. Well, without further ado, unless anyone has any final thoughts, let's get into it. Also, just so everyone knows, we as the A team sat and watched Aliens together and got to talk about all the voice lines that came up in that movie.
Dramatized had never seen the movie, so it was a very surreal experience for him, according to him, because he was hearing the voice lines after having played this game for this many years, never having really known where they all came from.
And I wonder if there's anyone listening to this right now that doesn't realize half the lines in our game come from the movie Aliens.
Even a lot of the sounds.
More than half.
Yeah. The firing of the weapons also is one. It is the smart gun firing, as a lot of them found out.
Well, Brahmatize just starts out the game being a jerk.
So, yeah.
Walks over and pushes him out.
Yep. That was a good hit by Judah.
Yeah.
And it looks like currently Josiah and I are trying to take big box. Poopies is sneaking underneath us, so I'm sure we'll get a good little surprise here.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Strongly gets him, but all of us have come back, so breaks that missile lock, which is really good for that spot. Loses it going all the way down, though. That's another thing I've noticed is a lot of the players have realized that you can go to the edge of that rampway, and you can basically dodge missiles by just bobbing between the two spots. So,
Absolutely. Brahmatize just holding his ground on the chamber. Well, man, Joey's really just stuck himself in there, and he just got a ton of shots off. Like,
yeah.
he's not being paid attention to. And that leaves an opening for Renegade to get in here.
Really hard to attack on a player like Brahmatize, because when he sets his mind to defending a spot, he will just stay there and stay there and stay there. And he's tall, so he's got good vision, and he's a quick shot too, so he's really hard to push in on.
Judah comes across a little slow, so no extra hit onto Brahmatized after the nuke. Another thing I would say, and I've kind of talked to them about this, is when you're not in a fighting moment, try to be filling up your ammo. That way they can start acting as like a scout for area control, because it's very helpful to have an ammo who's going to be just walking around helping fight nearby the resupplies, because it can help create more pressure or relieve more pressure.
Definitely.
You should never just be standing around. There's always stuff to do.
Unless you're Bromley waiting for us to hit him.
Oh, he has stuff to do.
He's looking over that wall.
Before he can do it.
Yeah.
I like Joey's attack angle here. The resupply are exposed at the rear. If he can get by Sergeant Tucker, then he can get a medic hit in.
So Bromley gets in, can't chase Judah though. Gets pushed out eventually. Coming back as Renegade is now holding the closet area. I do remember playing this game out, making the comment that it felt like we were trying to squish a bunch of cockroaches. They just would not die, no matter how much we seemed to attack them. And so it was very interesting to be playing the game, because it felt like every time we'd hit one or two of them, one or two more would pop up and fight. And it was very good to see them beginning to build this synergy of sieging. So we'll see if it can continue.
Yeah. Nice hits on Brahmatize from Strikva. Yeah, no, that was good, and good positioning from Poopies as well. He took over the closet for quite a while and kind of pincered all of us into the chamber.
Yeah, and another thing, it kind of briefly showed it. We didn't get to see it because it cut away to a different camera angle. But the reason he didn't get all of his resupplies is because he came back, realized that everyone was in the resupply and needed to get doubles, and so he left.
Yeah.
And so that is why he is currently playing critical.
Yep, he needs lives quick, because Jared's holding almost 2 nukes. There you go.
The scary thing, like you're looking at the red team right now. They have 69 total lives, and 2 of their players are on single digits. So a double nuke can really just end the game in a situation like that.
Man,
And
they
so,
just keep getting pushed out.
yeah, this is another thing where if even if you're not completely losing it, if you're constantly losing it like that, it is better just to go downstairs and to try and retake it, because clearly this is just going to be the theme. Bromley's just going to walk back across. He's going to shove you out again. Going to slow down your doubles. You might get hit as you're coming up the rampway because Josiah's looking at it as he brags to the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's not really a lot of good options here. John is also in red corner, so it's kind of hard because you don't want to go. But with everyone back, you kind of now have the problem of what do we do, right? Anthony's at 8 lives and 30 shots. Judah's at 10 lives and 40. Sammy's at 9 lives. Troy is the only one in a relatively healthy spot at 1537.
Mm-hmm.
I just annihilated Judah somewhere.
As he walked in, you were hitting him.
Wow.
And so this is another one where, in this instance, this is where walking away is good. You have a heavy on third looking at you. You have a commander on the switchback looking at you. You need to determine if it is feasible to continue, because every medic life lost like this is a problem because you're not doubling.
Mm-hmm.
And in their defense, they are holding out.
Yeah, what
Joey
you can say is
big box
that
is good.
everybody's fighting to stay alive right now. There's not that one person that has 50 lives and they're not fighting when they need to be.
Oops. John shooting Jarrett as he goes up trying to hit Troy.
Mm-hmm. It's like, what cards can the red team play right now? Is there anything they're missing?
Like I think they're really stubborn right now, and that's
They
gonna
need to go downstairs.
what makes this a shorter game. Or even I don't know how this game ends, but I'm assuming just based off
Well,
of
this
like
one's
the
actually
scoreboard,
15 minutes.
This one goes the distance.
That's actually that's pretty amazing. Yeah, but just based off of this, it looks like they're really handicapping themselves by trying to fight for that third floor. And even when you're holding it again, I don't know who said it earlier, but just because you're holding it doesn't mean you're holding the game. And sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
it just keeps you dead longer. Really does.
I like it, Anthony.
Well,
Bouncing so he can see everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, Joey went out at some point recently.
Yeah, Joey just wasn't able to
Joey's
come back
dead.
to get doubles for a long time. So this is kind of where now the beginning of the end. Anthony really desperately needs to be getting doubles, which is why he's back, and he's not able to get any because of the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Boosting now.
Man. Yeah, I suppose like some mistakes here have compounded, so they don't have as many options because they need to all be back. Judah right now is actually in a really good spot and probably needs to carry a little bit of the weight here. So taking Chamber, great move. If he can keep it for a few minutes, he can buy his team some room.
Yeah, and even if he's not actively like trading or winning trades, which he did there,
Oh, he is.
but then
He's
I was
kicking
able to
butt.
get both.
Just had to come in and ruin the fun, hadn't you?
I'm trying to protect my medic too. He's at 9 lives.
You're doing great.
But no, so the two of them coming over to here, while they're not getting a ton of damage in, they are holding an area that allows their team to get a little more pressure out. The problem again is Anthony has almost no lives, so it's likely he will die. Same thing with Loki. He's getting a nuke off. Hopefully he can get some lives. I think he's downstairs is the problem. So
Nice.
Braumatize gets missiled there.
Where's Anthony?
Strikva flees to the closet, and
no.
Anthony dies downstairs.
Oh, that's so rough. Strickfoot was one away from a boost too.
Fire team is trailing by 13,000 points.
Something I am noticing, I just want to give as a general feedback. I know this game was 2 months ago, so I do perceive that some of this has been remedied a bit, but I'm not noticing much congruence on the B team. Like everyone's they kind of have an idea of what they're doing, but there's not a unified game plan. I'm not seeing the players like communicating with each other or anybody
Yeah, they're
telling
just
each other
kind of
what they
shooting
should
the
be
green
doing.
team.
Even just shouting out like, hey, this person's down in this area. You know, basic communication like that could help a lot. Oh,
Yeah,
Leading by 14
it is. It is also definitely a bit of lack of communication. No one's made any comments towards nuke drops or anything like that. So the red team never really was pushing very hard on the nuke drops. Like I had said, Judo was a little slow coming across, so he didn't get that extra hit in. And so Strikva loses his last life right there trying to fight. And that's, in this instance, I know Jarrett's holding on to nukes. One of the other things I think we had discussed earlier was he wasn't allowed to drop till he hit 99. So that's why he's not right now, is he's trying to get to 99.
yep.
So
Yeah.
for two of you who were playing on the A team that game, and I know this was a while ago, were you guys doing anything to support him hitting 99, or were you just playing it as an average game, and if he hits 99, he hits 99?
If he hits 99, he hits 99. So we're playing a standard game, and if he hits 99, then he can drop his nukes. Is I believe what the rule was.
It was a while ago. I don't remember.
I do not honestly remember. I think that was the way that we did it.
Yeah.
And so that's why he's trying to get them now, is because he's realized how close he is.
Oh man.
team is behind by 14,000 points.
Oh, she got it. 5K ammo. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe I did have a 30 MVP medic game because I scored 5K too.
You might have legitimately. I consider
Maybe.
that a perfect medic game when you end with 1 life.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what I'm hearing, maybe John had said that he's not allowed to drop at all.
Not this way.
Not this
Don't
way.
do it
Okay,
this
so John
way.
does not want them. So he just hit 99.
Jared's trying to run and drop.
So Jared's trying to flee. The timer is stopped in the upper right, unfortunately. So
Oh
he
my
won't make
gosh.
it. That'll
Yeah.
kill both of them, though, is the problem. And so even if he tries to chain them all, he'll only get another one off.
He's like, I've never gotten a pentanuke before. And yeah, you don't.
John's desperately
Jarrett, you
looking for him.
you don't want it this way, Jarrett.
No, it's not a very accomplishing way.
It doesn't feel very fulfilling. No.
Oh, I have it right here. Look at me go. 29.58. Well done.
Thanks, Jude.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And then Azra and Strikva also had really good games. I saw Strikva fighting a lot there at the end.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
they made those last lives really count.
So I know this was 2 months ago, but is there anything we can say that maybe the B team can utilize from our conversation today?
It's keep working and keep doing what you're doing because obviously there's growth that's happening. So I think it's really exciting. It's like pretty basic and cliche thing to say, but really that's just part of it. Is you play more and you learn more, and as long as you're learning, then you're gonna get better.
Yeah, same. I think right now what they just need to do is just keep practicing their synergies, figure out what comp they like the most, and even if it feels like an uphill battle, just go in every game with a game plan of what you want to work on. Not necessarily like this is what's going to get us victory. Go, this is what I want to work on for this game. This is what I think I can improve on to help my team. And I think like you said, Luke, it's been 2 months, so I do think they have been definitely working on it.
Mm-hmm.
But continue just with that. It can be a little disheartening losing because it sucks to play the A team and only have the A team to really play. With some newer players kind of coming in, we're able to get the games a little closer, but just keep practicing.
Yeah, I will third that, and we can all tell you experiences about going to tournaments early on, and even though we didn't have an A team over us, talking mainly about like me, Josiah, and Joe, who kind of were always on the A team. Um, we would play against other sites who just were way better than us from experience, and it was the same thing, just getting beat over and over by people who knew better. And the only difference is experience. Um, you guys are, I'm really impressed so far. And you're a completely different team than you are in this video a couple months ago. You are starting to figure out your roles, and you will continue to like become a unit as you learn how to better use trails and recover from going downstairs.
Not being afraid to go downstairs.
Yeah, not being afraid to go downstairs.
Sometimes you gotta just give up the fortress. And it
I thought
sucks.
you were gonna stop at just give up.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta know
Sometimes
when
you
to
gotta
fold.
just throw.
Sometimes you gotta know when to fold them.
No, and personally, I'm really excited because to my understanding, we're going to be, playing against them again in March for some more practice games. So
Definitely. Yeah. I would actually love to talk about that. We just had you out, Slaughtermelon, for a couple, well, Mega Members Night, trademark. You have your US team, which, don't worry, DK said you've gone public with it officially. And
yes,
we
yes,
got
we
to play
have.
some practice games against you guys. Our A team and B team both faced you guys, and those were very insightful games. I'd love to discuss a little more here if you're willing.
Yeah, of course. And what I'm most excited about, honestly, is in March when we really get our A team there. And unfortunately, I was injured and
I
we didn't
know.
have Thunder there. But I'm really excited to have all of us there, and we'll have been playing together for our second time in this case. And yeah, I'm just extremely pumped for it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we can talk about those games. I mean, there's a bit we're able to take away from those games.
Yeah. I mean, tell me about when you guys played the B team. What did you notice, and from your team, and about the B team?
I was actually really excited by the B team and what they were able to really pull off. I mean, they have that classic like Loveland strong beginning of the game, um, and we've seen just an
Yeah, they
increase in
do.
consistency. But I think this B team is going to be really great, and I'm excited to see, how eventually those players flex up into the A team in the future and so on. But I think it's honestly exciting to see such a solid and set Loveland B team for the first time ever.
Hmm. I don't know. I definitely think the 2018 West Coast B team has made history in my mind. They some really
Actually,
fun
that
tactics.
B team was pretty impressive as well. I take that back. It's exciting to see the new, fresh
The
Loveland
new
B
B
team.
team. Yeah, you're good. But dude, I noticed that too, and that's always been a Loveland thing. Is that no matter what arena we're playing in, so I think it might just be the arena structure we have since you have to come out swinging so quickly. We always seem to have a really good first 1 to 3 minutes, no matter what. It's just once the rotations begin and the mid game, and sometimes you got to slow down a bit. That takes a little bit longer for a Loveland player to comprehend, I think.
Well, and that's actually something like our team talked about when we played that second game. Well, before we played that, I guess that last game that we played was here's the deal. Loveland has these super strong starts. We love to see it, but if that strong start gets compromised, then the game takes a whole different turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And although we see a struggle with consistency in the mid game and the late game, it's awesome to see just a super strong start no matter what. And even when we tried to lay some sort of counter down, still just it was a crazy game. We had some
Mm-hmm.
really good games, and I wish I would have been able to play all of them.
Yeah, you played on the first day against the B team, and I've been cutting some of the videos together. You were having some trouble even just moving up and down the ramps.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it was just the same thing on the second day, and it's actually my leg just finally today. All the bruising is now gone and stuff, and I have no idea how it ended up getting bruising. But about a week ago, like the bottom portion of my leg was just like bruised really badly.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I almost went to urgent care, but since it didn't hurt, I wasn't super worried. And because all the bruising's gone now, I'm really not worried. And I was able to hit the gym for about an hour and a half today, so it was great. But yeah, I was extremely struggling, especially on those ramps with my calf. And I don't know. It seems to me like it was a partial tear. Definitely wasn't a full tear, but if it was just a sprain, should have been good in 3 to 5 days. But it's been about 2 weeks, so
Mm-hmm.
almost 3 weeks.
I'm surprised it took that long for it to heal. That's
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like, I had contacted just a friend of mine in the medical field, and she advised me to go to urgent care and get it looked at if that persisted, because it did sound like a partial tear. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, luckily it's all healed and good now, and I was able to do a bunch of cardio today, so that felt great.
Oh, good.
But yeah, today has been the first day since I've actually jogged and ran since. So
So this game also has the A team, and we got to play 2 matches against you guys. We certainly were glad that um, you guys came out and that we had some just like you guys provided a real challenge every game. I hope you know. And we're honestly very glad that on the final day you guys took a game off of us. It really exposed a lot of our weaknesses and it's given us stuff to work on now, coming into March.
yeah, well, and I mean, it was so strange. We truly we didn't expect to win games when we had come out. We realized, oh man, this is our first time all playing together, and we're missing a player, and this we hadn't even had time to do like an official like meeting or anything. But I'm super
Mm-hmm.
excited for next month because we've been doing weekly meetings and we've been chatting and learning, and we've watched the games that you sent over and everything, and we've gotten some
Good,
really good
good.
insights as to some initial weaknesses that we've had to fix as well.
That's exciting. I'm really stoked that you guys are doing meetings. It sounds like everyone on the team is really passionate and willing to put in the work to making themselves the best team possible. I
As long
think
as New Zealand's still happening, we're shooting to win. So
definitely. It sounds like they're planning on doing it. They got a while to fix the arena, and I was talking on the Resupply podcast just yesterday, actually. I don't know if you've seen the videos of the flooding. Like,
Yeah.
holy cow, it looks apocalyptic. And the whole building's flooded up to like people's knees.
Yeah, it's just super
But
sad to see.
we were talking about, hey, this is potentially an opportunity for them to remodel some of the first floor and try to make it even better for Nats.
Yeah, so I did hear news from DK today about how an engineer, a structural engineer, somebody had come in and said, yeah, you do need to replace most of these bottom walls. So I think you're right. I mean, we could have a completely different New Zealand map than what everybody's been given and used to for some of these players, and that's really exciting. As much as I would have loved the opportunity to play in the New Zealand arena as it is right now, I think it'd be great to have a little bit of a chance for, players to have a say in the redesign.
Definitely make it more SM5 compatible.
Yeah, well, and
One
that's what
the
we're doing with our building rebuild right now in Cedar City is when we rebuild our arena, it's being built by Space Marines players. It's being designed by Space Marine players.
Yes.
So
Yeah, have you
there's
have you finished designing yet? You were coming on with like Minecraft the other day.
yeah, I had unfortunately some stuff came up this week and I haven't been able to continue with it, but I moved to a 3D workspace instead.
Okay.
As fun as Minecraft is.
Can you share anything right now about your arena?
Um, I could, but why don't I share that in private?
Sure,
um,
absolutely.
what my business partners are comfortable with going public at the moment, but we're able to talk about we're redesigning and we're really excited for it.
No, no worries.
So with that, we do plan to.
We know that when the day comes that you guys are like ready to show that, it'll be awesome. But there's a lot of planning going on.
Yeah, a little bit.
So
No, and we hope to host 2024 Nats. So
interesting. We also hope to host 2024 Nats.
oh man, see, so in that case, then I mean, I doubt we would mind pushing it back to 2025 for us. Um, yeah,
Well,
we
that's not being decided right here.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's a later discussion.
That's for the committee. And
Well,
I was just gonna say,
to be
you mean there's not
fair,
a committee?
to be fair, St. George has been trying to host Nats for longer than Loveland's been trying to host Nats.
Yeah, I think it'll be exciting for Loveland to host a Nats if that does come up next year. Like the last time Loveland hosted a Nats was 2015, and that was my first tournament ever.
Mm-hmm.
So
You penta-nuked in that tournament.
I did. I had a broken up 5 chain. It was. I unfortunately I don't count it anymore as much as I would love to. I was really happy that I got 5 nukes in that game, but it's so crazy. I
You also
wonder
went
what
by an
I would
entirely
think
different
of
name.
myself if I got to play against me today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're a completely different, not only player, but like you're a man now. You were like a
I'm a man.
13-year-old back then.
Yeah, I'm 20 now, and I turn 21 next month. It's crazy.
Yeah. You've grown from a panther to a melon.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, right.
No further comments.
LOL. Strikva just got popped by Bagel there. Anyway, yeah, we're all very excited to. I mean, if you had an arena that no one's played at before, and you guys end up hosting, we'll obviously be very happy to come out and compete in that.
Yeah, well,
I think we'll both get to host at some point in the near future, no matter what.
yes, that part is true. You guys,
Yeah.
especially since you're hosting next month.
That is very true. But anyway, it sounds like the Auckland Arena plays similar to the Loveland Arena in that it's a King of the Hill type. You got the one resupply spot. But it sounds like the downstairs in their arena before the flood was even less forgiving than ours is.
Yeah, from the photos and from the little 3D arena thing we have, and
and just like
Mhm.
the little 2D map, it's insane how small their arena is, really.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder what like it feels so unfair of me to even think about what I might put or do to an arena I've never been in before. But I said to G&D yesterday, more options are better. If you have more options, then players can utilize creativity more, and skill matters more. It's not so much like you just have to win the first trade and boom. So I wonder if there's any way to make the downstairs more survivable in their arena as a result of the flood.
Oh yeah. I think hopefully they take advantage of the opportunity if it, becomes an opportunity. So
Hmm. Or maybe they'll make it less survivable, and that's just a feature.
They're never bugs. They're always features until they crawl around on the ceiling. Then they are bugs.
Well, let me ask you guys the same question that I asked about the B team, but about the A team. And uh, Sergeant, Doctor would love your thoughts as well from playing the US team. Those were some pretty heated games. What did we learn? What did any of us learn from those games?
Go ahead, Joe.
Uh, Synergy is very important. I think it gave us a view into what synergies did and didn't work initially, and which ones we need to work on. Because the entire team is built around the idea of flexibility. And while we've played together for long periods of time, we don't completely know how we all stack up together in terms of against teams at our skill level or above. So that was a good way for us to see, what pairs work well together, what pairs struggle, and how do we fix it? What is it that we need to improve upon as a squad? So lots of stuff to work on. A lot of synergistic stuff, some mid game play, and a couple opening tweaks. So
Yeah, would totally agree. We got put in a lot of spots that you don't inherently know what to do about it in the mid game when you get pushed downstairs or when you're all shoved into chamber and you're being sniped at, or both bases have been pushed out and everyone's just running for their lives. All kinds of like I'm surprised, Caleb, that you didn't think you guys would be winning any games. You're all very talented players. We were expecting you guys to definitely, if not win games, at least really pressure us.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was a real like 50-50. And it was just it was hard to gauge where we would be at with our first time playing together.
Mm-hmm. Cool beans.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't say.
No, no, I'm just trying to think of where to go. We can definitely wrap up here if unless any of you guys have anything else you want to say.
I do not.
Very
Not
nice.
particularly.
Well, thank you guys for coming on, and I got nothing else to say. It's been a good time. Let's try to do a cool outro. Let's mock the resupply. I've been Mischief.
I've
I'm
been Tucker.
Melon. Oh,
And I'm Dr.
Oof.
Feelgood.
oh man.
And we got to get it right. I've been
Yeah.
Mischief.
I've been Tucker.
I've been Slaughtermelon.
I've been Dr. Feelgood.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.